show of applause. Who are the backers here tonight? Yeah. All right, you're here. This could have been done without you. My name is Alan. I'm the editor-in-chief of Film Threat. I'm also the co-host of the Film Threat livecast with Chris Gore, the director of Attack of the Dog. I'll make this brief because we're going to get this movie going, but I just wanted to welcome you to tonight. Hope you have a great time, and stick around. Chris and other members of the cast and crew will be here to talk about the documentary for a little Q&A. So let's get it started. Hey, big hand to the cast. Behind the Bobby is here. Chris, do you have anything to say?
I hope you thought it was entertaining. It's a love letter to G4 and Attack of the Show, and it was made by a bunch of guys who were in junior high when they were watching. I'm serious. I met this guy, Bobby Schwartz. We were at a bar.
Go figure.
It was Hollywood and Highland. What bar was it?
I think it was the Cantina.
The Cantina, Cabo
Cabo
Wabo. And he was a mere child when he used to watch the show. And yeah, so
Chris took me in and he made me make a movie.
but it's like at the beginning when it says made by fans for fans, like I was a fan of the show, but I was on the show. And everyone here, Austin Smith, Walter Areas, Anthony Ray Bench, Bobby Schwartz, we're all fans of the show who were children when they watched it. And thank God for their amazing parents. So,
Yeah, we'd like to give a big shout out to all of our parents.
Yes.
Some of them are here, I think.
Just tell me, it's done. You did it. What was, you guys were fans of Attack of the Show. While you were putting this together, what are some of the feelings and thoughts you had while you were pulling this film together?
I literally answered this during the first Q&A, so I apologize for anybody who stayed for both showings. It was really cool because G4 was canceled in 2013, and I started work on the doc in late 2020. So a lot of the footage that we were kind of cultivating and creating a library with, I hadn't seen in a long time. And as a fan, Chris says junior high, I was in college. As a fan that literally came home every day and just really looked forward to watching Attack of the Show and just G4 in general, that footage meant a lot to me. It took me back to a much simpler time in my life, and it was, quite frankly, just really cool to relive those memories, and also kind of sad because you know that it's never going to come back in the way that it was. So yeah, it was very cool, nostalgic, and ultimately bittersweet.
Yeah, I have a really weird connection to all of this because I was actually in the game industry for a good 10 years. Actually, while G4 was on the air, I was actually making video games for a good part of that time. And it really is weird bringing me back to that point in time when I struggled, and I went to those E3s and I went to those big shows, and I got to see a lot of that from an industry perspective. And now here I am working on a movie that celebrates all that time that I spent, and it was beautiful, it was bittersweet, but at the same time, I can enjoy it for what it was, and I'm glad that I spent that time there in that space. And I'm glad that this movie is here to celebrate that time in that space. And I'm glad to share that with all of you.
Basically, we're all just super validated now.
Yeah, it's weird looking back on that time, especially for Bobby and I, we were literally kids when that was on the air. And if nothing else, it was a big time capsule for the era because I was like, wow, this was just a lot of fun, and it feels like we're kind of missing a lot of that in at least media nowadays. And I gotta say, Attack of the Show was way ahead of its time. I remember doing research, watching old episodes on YouTube, and they were covering stuff in like 2006, like they were in Japan covering phones that you unlock with your thumbprint, and it's like, I don't think we got that over here till like, what, 2010 or something? Yeah. And yeah, stuff like that. I was blown away. I was like, these guys were on it.
What all of them are saying is they got their first boners watching Attack of the Show. And I just want to say congratulations to you all.
And thank you, Chris, for those photos. Chris, let me ask you this question. You lived through it. You made a documentary about it. I assume this is the final version because I've seen at least 4 versions.
Yes.
What are you feeling right now?
Well, first of all, I'm just happy that you're here. Like, I can't believe there's people that want to see this movie. I mean, as much as like the trailer looks like sort of Jackass, right? Like, it's like crazy stuff that happens. It's nuts. But I wanted to remind people of a time when we could laugh at ourselves, when we had a sense of humor, when we weren't looking to cancel someone because they thought of a joke about something that was funny. So, so I hope you just appreciate like this era that's like really like recent history. Actually, it's like not that long ago.
I think we have people here. Do you want to introduce anybody?
Yeah. Okay. Backers. You have the backers and producers.
Stand up.
Yes.
Stand up.
Thank you so much to the backers and producers.
Your name is in the credits.
Thank you. There are over 1,100 names in the credits. They're all there. Bobby worked tirelessly to like make a 700-minute credit sequence, and I appreciate, which was entertaining, and all your names are in there in alphabetical order by first name.
I think buy the Blu-ray so you can pause it at home and screen cap it.
Yes, the Blu-ray comes out in July. There's also there are Easter eggs in this movie. Can I tell you what some of them are?
Yes.
No, absolutely not.
If you currently on your phone go to yourassgotserved.com, it redirects to attackofthedog.com. Also, we created in Second Life a virtual version of the set of Attack of the Show. You can go to it when you get the Blu-ray. There's a link that takes you directly to. You can walk through the actual set of Attack of the Show in a metaverse, which is pretty cool.
Both versions of the set are in there. The one pre-2010 and the one after.
Yes, so there are like 2 versions of the set. So when you saw like those, like, how do we do like, because we were thinking like, okay, there are these sequences where we don't have supporting footage. What do we do? Well, we'll do Second Life. It was the first metaverse in the early 2000s. So we recreated. When I say we, I didn't do that. But other people more talented than I am, like recreated that area. So,
which set has the pie, the giant pie?
the giant pie, or should we put the pie in there?
Yes, we should put the pie in there.
Yes. And I gotta say, this guy Bobby sacrificed so much during the making of this doc. He did not have a girlfriend previous to this. I think. Did I see you walking with a lady?
And nearly died.
I'm with Walter now.
And I'm just saying, I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
this guy. Yes.
Yes, hi, Tom Bechtel, big fan.
Tommy
Mine's a two-parter. First, was there a DVD you fought really hard to review for DVD's Day that they had asked you not to, that you believed in, even though knowing people were going to buy it with their hard-earned dollars, and the producer said, Chris, that's crazy.
Transformers 2. Next question.
Were there any young sketch actors on the show that you really saw were a light in that you wanted to work with in the future?
His name is Tommy Bechtel. Tommy Bechtel, by the way, who was one of the recurring improv actors who was on Attack of the Show. I love Tommy. I'm going to hug him later.
We're happy to have you here, Tom.
Yes!
Yeah, this is actually.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so we need the story of the
My
jeans.
jeans.
I think this is important because for a decade now, everyone's been unclear about why you screamed my jeans and not like my ass or something.
First of all, my ass really hurt. There was a mic pack in the back of my jeans, my phone. I was concerned about mostly my phone. And when I lost my footing because my jeans were too tight, I was like conscious of, don't swear, you're on TV. And I said my jeans instead of my fucking ass. Huge round of applause for Zach Selma, who wrote all those songs. Oh my God, yes, Zach, get over here.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Chris. Oh, man. What?
No, just this guy can write a song randomly with keywords that you'll just throw out. He's incredibly talented. We worked together for years on the show. We drank a lot. We also, Zach just like incredibly talented. Like it was always like Zach is the Greek chorus. He's the guy that's like, he'll take a 10-minute sequence about like Tech TV's merger and he'll make it a funny 30-second song.
That wasn't it. That got cut out.
Oh, that's true. But the soundtrack, by the way, the soundtrack for this documentary drops on Spotify on Monday. It's free on Spotify. Like you can hear several songs that got cut from the documentary, and Zach is here, dude.
Well, the song You Can't Do That No More. Chris said, dude, I have these ideas for songs, and I want a song about Olivia leaving, I want a song about the Tech TV merger, I want a song called something about you can't do this shit we used to do on TV anymore. And so I wrote it that night, and I like sent you a demo, and you're like, oh my God. So that song we're gonna try to release as like a single. We're gonna go for an Academy Award on this shit. Damn it. Forget Shallow by Bradley Cooper and shit.
Who does a soundtrack to a documentary? We just did.
I think it's important to note that currently your ass got served is not being served up from someone's ass. Yeah. That I'm aware of, but just for the record.
Bobby, that's for a later meeting.
I vote Walter.
Hey, any celebrities come through the show that were like, oh my God, I'm so nervous, and why was it James Cameron?
Yeah. James Cameron actually really loved Attack of the Show. I interviewed him a couple times because I did the movie coverage, but he loved the show because he knew the audience was right, but it was weird because the show kind of did track, like, nerd culture was not cool, but by the end of the show, nerd culture had become mainstream. So now I didn't think that there would ever be 3 Ant-Man movies. The fact that there's 1 Ant-Man movie, holy fuck. There's 3 Ant-Man movies, and one of them is really good. You decide.
Where's the footage of you interviewing Angelina Jolie?
That'll be an extra on the Blu-ray, for sure. You look embarrassed. How many things? My whole rule was when in doubt, cut me out, right? Like that was like the Michael Moore thing. But yeah, like I just wanted to show also there's a little bit of, there's some semi-serious themes in there of like nerd culture. Like I feel like we're oddly divided politically, which I always like understand. Politics, we're divided. But like, how are we divided by like which Star Wars movie you like? Like, who gives a shit? I love Star Wars. Like, who cares?
I just want to say I hosted the show Hurl. 100% true. This was the worst show ever in the G4 history. They would start shooting at 11 p.m. I would go down there and be like, hey guys, welcome to Hurl, where we try to feed you as much disgusting food as possible and put you on the world's tallest roller coaster. Whoever doesn't puke wins. Let's go. Real show. Seth Rogen comes up to me at a Comic-Con and goes, hey bro, that Hurl show's not it. I know, dude. They're edging me out. Someone find the Hurl footage.
Yeah, I mean, this was an amazing documentary for the production team. What's next?
There's a movie that we're going to submit to festivals called Film Threat Sucks. And it's about like Film Threat in the 90s. There's a lot of drama. that, and then we're all working on various projects.
Well,
So
so if you wanted to hear
Oh.
about our next other project.
yeah.
Having a baby.
Ant-Man form. We're gonna crowdfund it.
But just to crowdfund that, we're making a comic book.
Yes.
It's the Dual Animal Anthology. We've already put out an issue 0. We're funding issue 1 pretty shortly soon here. So
follow @DualAnimal on Instagram, and when we launch the Kickstarter, you'll probably hear about it there first. Chris is writing one of the anthology stories, and we're really excited about it.
Awesome.
So Chris, you've been doing a lot of YouTube recently, and you've been meeting a lot of famous people here and there.
Yeah, Anna, that Star Wars girl, is one of the famous people that she's on Flashcast tomorrow. Am I going to do Flashcast tomorrow?
Yeah, we're reviewing Picard.
We're going to review Picard. Who has seen season 3 of Picard? Holy crap. It's so good.
By the way, I noticed one of the backers was the Starfleet captain.
Oh my God. Todd Stashwick, right? Todd Stashwick.
Who do you think is the next Olivia Munn? Or who has it to be the next?
I don't know if there's a next Olivia Munn. She was really an original. I don't know that there is one. Alan, what do you think?
No, there's only one. Really, that's.
I think there can only be one.
Can the show be remade? And it sounds like they can.
I mean, you could do a reunion. I don't know if you can capture that era. You can. So that was the point of the documentary. It's like, here's your member berries. This was a remind you of this time, right? But we live in a really weird fucking time right now. I just want to say, what the fuck is going on? Social media, I look and I'm like, I'm horrified. My eyes burn. But I don't know. I just wanted to remind people of when we just celebrated all this fun stuff. We did crazy shit, like putting servers up people's asses. And then Walter bought the website.
I did. I actually saw that yourassgotserved.com was available, and I was like, immediately, that is what I wanted to do.
And it redirects to attackofthedog.com. But
yourassgotserved.com is forever.
Your ass got. But look, we had a lot of fun back then. But if any of those segments ever aired today, we would all be canceled, 100%, right? We were just
Honestly, they won't, just you.
Just me. Get ready for me to be canceled.
Yeah, it's gonna happen any day. All right.
But for everyone, what was your favorite piece of footage to rediscover?
Ooh.
This was my favorite and also my least favorite. I recall I think I watched the Cholula incident live, and it was traumatizing. And one of the things we decided to do, because we're really smart people in regards to marketing and promotion, for the Kickstarter, when we were trying to generate interest in for accumulated backers, they made me do the Cholula thing, and so I took probably 6 shots, and I don't know, maybe a couple people saw that, and so I died for the movie exists, so it's a win.
By the way, it's gonna be on the Blu-ray.
Yeah. So you'll be able to see that there.
And if you watch it, you'll hear somebody giggling in the background the entire time. That's me.
You'll just see Bobby soul leave his body as he's taking each shot.
For me, it was the Avatar Jeremy's Dragon Corner, because I remember watching that. I was obsessed with Avatar before it came out, and when it came out, I was like, that's all right. I was really obsessed, and I remember watching that and just laughing my ass off, just imagining James Cameron researching dragon sex, as a thing he did for Avatar. I still, that's my headcanon. I 100% believe it.
McHammer, baby, too legit to quit.
maybe like the Comic-Con footage, because I actually just thought about this somewhat recently. My buddy and I went to Comic-Con in like 2008 or 2009, and I think we walked past that stage, and I don't think I knew what it was at the time.
I just want to say about Mick Hammer.
Yeah.
Well, Kel Mitchell, I had known Kel from doing comedy and stuff, and I had hired him to be in a sketch that I wrote called Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Usher. So check that out on Attack of the Show's archive somewhere. It's a really funny sketch. I played David Crosby, rest in peace. And so when they were like, need a Mick Hammer, I'm like, get Kel. So that was awesome to see that again. That was hilarious. Then we brought him to Comic-Con with us too. He was like running around, just like, too legit. It was amazing.
For all the crazy things that we saw on the show, what was the craziest thing that was not on the show that you wanted to see on the show?
No,
More Boba Fetish?
yeah. Boba Fetish was not me. I can 100%, although I have the costume.
Like hand to God.
So after Attack of the Show ended, they're like, well, what are we gonna do with all this stuff? They threw it all in the hallway. We all like grabbed stuff.
I could use that.
I could use a Rebel pilot costume. But yeah, I don't know, like, it was weird because it was always trying to top itself, so to speak, but there's a skit with my kids. Franken Pereri. My kids are like, they're really little in that. Now my kids are adults. My kids are Bobby-sized at this point. But yeah, so I don't know, like Franken Pereri, I loved it. And then what was so funny was when I brought my kids to do this very innocent sketch, which was about a breakfast cereal, there was it caused a huge controversy. Like, you can't bring children to be on Attack of the Show. That is horrifying. And then I kept because I couldn't give a fuck about being on TV when I was on there. I was I learned that I could mispronounce swear words. So when I would go on the show, I would say, that director's a total shafid. So I was basically saying shithead. But I could get away, I just was I didn't care. It was the least money I made in television, but the most fun I ever had. So
Amen to that.
So yeah.
I just want to say
you
this.
You didn't make a lot of money either, did you?
Well. I just want to say thank you for not putting the Great Cougar Hunt of 2006 in there.
That segment, yeah.
Kevin Pereira they made Kevin Pereira and I go to a bar in the valley that was known for cougars and do a cougar hunt. And whoever got the most drinks bought for them won, and it did not go over very well. There was lawsuits that went worldwide.
You won.
Of course I won. Come on, player. Anyway, we got sued for that one, and it was buried. That's probably not available anywhere. That's the dark web shit.
You get on TMZ.
TMZ.
Hell yeah.
Or the dark web. Go look that up.
Thank you for being here tonight and celebrating a show that I loved, I was a part of. I was a fan of the show, I was on the show, I was a fan, and this movie is by fans, for fans, and it's really a love letter. Bobby?
I agree. I mean, it was just nostalgia laden. We wanted to celebrate. It's an important time, I think, in all of our lives for different reasons, and we know that we're not alone in that, and hopefully you guys enjoy it.
One of the things we kind of talked about when we were making this documentary is that we wanted it to be a love letter to the fans. And as someone who worked on the documentary, if you remove that, I would have loved this as a fan. This would have been great. I would have watched this. I would have passed it around all my friends. This is an awesome project to be a part of, and thank you guys for helping us and being.
This movie has been a part of my life for the last 3 years, and for better or worse,
I feel like a parent, but my kid's going off to college at age 4.
That's kind of how this feels, actually.
Yeah, it's weird.
And I'm so happy, so thrilled, nervous, terrified to share our little baby with all of you.
We tried our best. I mean, no parent, no child is perfect. Yeah, that's right.
I'm just glad this child didn't get left behind.
This project's been just the best freaking thing ever. I think we all kind of lucked out too, because I think just personality-wise, it syncs up with everybody. So this is like, I would say unfiltered us, but it definitely, got filtered a little.
Yeah, no, I hate all of you guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
I wasn't a part of making this movie other than my little part, so I just want to say thanks to all these guys for a great job. You guys kicked ass. Thanks for bringing it to people. And,
Monday, Attack of the Doc comes out on video on demand on the 21st anniversary of the launch of G4 TV. I'm super excited about that. I want everyone to see it. So you can get it for $2.99 to rent or whatever. Anyways, yeah. But thank you for showing up to this. Let's go party together.